So he was an outsider on that investigation, and all of the claims he made about it were based on hearsay, things that he supposedly heard from detectives that were actually working that case. And people have just kept repeating that hearsay over and over again throughout the years without checking the actual case files to see if the claims are true. The best example of this is the claim that Gecko ammunition, the type of high-powered submachine gun ammo that was used in Biggie's murder, was definitely found at David Mack's house. And all I can say is evidence of that has never been provided. The claim was printed in the book Loud, where it got all of one sentence. A claim from Russell Poole that he'd supposedly seen it in a report from the detectives on the Mack bank robbery case that they had found, quote, thousands of rounds of German manufactured 9mm ammunition, exactly the kind of bullets that had killed Biggie Smalls. But the brand Gecko isn't even mentioned here. And we're supposed to just take Poole's word for it that he'd heard this from the detectives working that case. And there's nothing in the 13-page follow-up report on the David Mack robbery case, nor in the ballistic report about his guns and ammunition that makes any mention of Gecko ammo, much less thousands of rounds of any ammunition being found in Mack's house. And again, Poole is not assigned to the David Mack bank robbery case. And in a follow-up book from the same author as Labyrinth, called Dead Wrong, a retired FBI agent who has pushed Poole's theory for years, also claims that he got the information about the Gecko bullets allegedly found at Mack's house in a report by Russell Poole. And this is just where it gets so convoluted for some reason. Whose report is this in? Poole himself claimed in Labyrinth that he'd seen it in somebody else's report, a report by detectives working the David Mack bank robbery. So Poole's writing reports based on what someone else wrote in a report that no one else has apparently ever seen, it doesn't make any sense. And because it was a bank robbery, the case was actually federal, meaning it was really the FBI's case. The FBI worked with LAPD Detective Brian Tyndall to solve it. So why would an FBI agent not pull his own agency's files on the case to confirm the details of what happened? Why are you taking the word of Russell Poole, who was never even assigned to that case? And even if this brand of ammunition had been found in David Mack's house, it was far from rare, which is a claim made by an FBI report about the Biggie case years later. And this claim was refuted again in the Dead Wrong book, stating that Gecko ammo was only sold in 2 stores in the entire U.S. But this seems to have confused Gecko distributors, of which there were only 2 in the U.S., one on each coast, with retailers, of which there were over 20 in Southern California alone. Another claim made by people pushing Poole's theory is that Biggie's killer of killers used stolen police radios to communicate with each other that night. And this is important because the FBI report also claimed that LAPD radios and scanners, plural, more than one, were confiscated from David Mack's house after his arrest. But there are a couple of big issues with this claim. One, police radios are not a private conversation. They're not like cell phones. Anybody could have heard these guys over the airwaves saying something like, Biggie's coming out, he's in the 2nd Suburban, get him. Especially any other cops with police radios. Or literally anyone with their own police scanner. And 2, according to the LAPD's follow-up report on the investigation into David Mack for the bank robbery, only 1 police radio was found in his house, not multiple radios. And that 1 radio was stolen on June 6, 1997. That's nearly 3 months after Biggie's murder. It could not have been used in that crime. And even if it had been, you can't communicate with each other with just 1 radio. But there is one big thing you could do with a police radio that it would help you with. Monitoring police response while committing a bank robbery. In fact, a witness who saw David Mack and his crew ditching the getaway van after the robbery noted that they appeared to be carrying what the witness described as police scanners. In fact, pretty much everything involving the accusations against David Mack for Biggie's murder, in my opinion, can be explained by the crime that he was actually convicted of committing, armed bank robbery. And other accusations against him have simply been exaggerated or proven irrelevant. It was claimed David Mack had a shrine to Tupac in his home. But in this entire 13-page follow-up report, Tupac's name isn't mentioned a single time, and there's no reference to any shrine. And Brian Tyndall, the lead detective on the Mack bank robbery case, reportedly said under oath in a deposition for the Biggie Estates lawsuit against the city that he didn't recall seeing any pictures of Tupac at Mack's house. And the LA Times reported that FBI photos of Mack's house also showed no posters or a shrine. And again, if an FBI agent is out there pushing cool theories, why haven't these photos of Mack's house been released? The closest thing to a so-called shrine may have been some CD inserts from various artists tacked to a wall in Mack's garage. But that's only a shrine to Tupac if you're trying to make your Biggie conspiracy theory sound more plausible. David Mack also owned a mid-90s Chevy Impala, which is the make and model of the car used in Biggie's murder. But Mack's Impala was black, while the closest witnesses to Biggie's murder were adamant the vehicle used was a greenish color. In fact, even Russell Poole seemed to know they were looking for a greenish colored Impala in the early days of the investigation.
I need a favor.
Because a flyer he personally distributed.
I need to borrow $10 so I get paid later.
So at what point did he decide?
Might wait tonight around midnight. I'll send it back to you. I'll give it to you in the morning. Whatever. I need to borrow 10 nicks to get food. So I like 2 favors. If you could take me or even pick up on that halal spot. It's the rice and that lamb. It's 10 things. My tenant said she was gonna hit me off too, so there's a chance you could, you know what I'm saying? But I got paid for Grandma Day in the morning type shit. But I hit my tenant up. I said I need money now. Last one you gotta pay. She was like, okay, but I don't know what that meant. If that means she's gonna send me later or what? But you'll get to 10 links back there. He's right on one.
Second photo in that same lineup, photo number 1, as also being someone he may have seen at the party. But that photo was just a random one added to the lineup as filler. So how reliable is this identification? And Biggie's friend Lil Cease and his driver Gregory Young were showing the same photos and didn't identify anyone. And it's hard to believe someone would remember a random face in a crowd of hundreds of people over a year later. In closing, I get accused by some people of attacking Russell Poole in some of these deep dive episodes. But I challenge you to find anywhere here where I attack him personally. The truth is, I'm targeting his theory.